The tension in the yard was thick enough to cut with a knife. The middle-aged man in the light blue shirt clutched a crumpled piece of paper, his face tense with anger and frustration. The man in the dark robe stood firm, his eyes cold and unyielding, while the boy in the dark t-shirt stared downward, silent, eyes fixed on the ground. "You can't just ban him," the man in blue snapped, voice trembling with fury. "He's our son. You have no right." The man in the robe interrupted, voice calm but edged with menace. "It's not about rights. It's about what's best. You don't understand what he's capable of. He's dangerous, more than you realize." The boy shifted slightly, his small frame trembling as he listened. His eyes flicked up for a moment, darting between the two men. He knew this wasn't a normal argument. Not at all. There was something darker beneath the words, a secret they fought to hide. The man in blue pressed the paper into the other's chest. "Look at this. You're depriving him of everything, his friends, his school, his life. Just because you're scared." The man in the robe's lips curled into a faint, icy smile. "Not scared. Cautious. There are things about him you don't understand. Things that could hurt him or others if he's not kept in check." The boy's gaze drifted downward again, but his mind was racing. This wasn't just about banning him from the house or school. It was about something else, something hidden, something dangerous. Suddenly, the man in the robe took a step closer. His voice dropped to a whisper, sharp and commanding. "You think you're protecting him? No. You're only making things worse. You have no idea what's coming. And when it arrives, it will change everything." The man in blue's eyes widened, his grip tightening around the paper. "What are you talking about?" The dark-robed man chuckled softly, a sound devoid of warmth. "You'll see soon enough. But I warn you, if you keep fighting, it won't just be your son who suffers." The atmosphere grew heavier. The boy looked up, eyes wide with confusion and fear. All he knew was that whatever this was, it was bigger than any of them. And whatever was coming, it was about to change everything forever. The scene paused there, the quiet before a storm. The darkness of secrets and threats hung over the yard, waiting to explode. And the boy, caught in the middle, felt it more than anyone. His future was no longer his own. It was tangled in their fight, in the shadows they refused to shed light on. And the worst part? Neither man knew how deep the darkness truly ran. The man in the robe's smile faded as he leaned in closer, voice low and threatening. "You don't get it, do you? Your son isn't like other kids. He's special, dangerous even. And if you don't control him, it'll be worse than you can imagine." The man in the blue shirt clenched his fists, eyes blazing. "You're the one trying to control him. You think a piece of paper or some rules can keep him safe. No, you're just scared of what he might become." Suddenly, the boy in the background took a step back, his eyes wide with fear. He wanted to run, to hide, but his legs wouldn't listen. Instead, he looked toward the house, wishing he could disappear. His mind spun with what he'd overheard, what they were hiding. Without warning, the man in the robe's hand shot out, grabbing the man in blue by the collar. His grip was firm, almost inhuman. "You don't understand. It's too late for warnings. If you push too hard, you'll unleash something you can't control." The man in blue pushed him away hard, stumbling back. "What are you talking about? This isn't a game." The robe man's eyes flicked to the boy. "Watch him. He's not like the others. He's the key, whether you see it or not. And if you keep fighting, you'll make everything worse." The boy's breath hitched. "What's happening?" he whispered, voice trembling. The man in the robe turned sharply, eyes gleaming. "You'll see soon enough. Everything is about to change. And once it does, there's no going back." A sudden gust of wind swept through the yard, knocking over a nearby trash can. The shadows lengthened unnaturally, as if the darkness itself was alive. The boy stared in horror as the two men's faces grew more serious, more dangerous. Then, out of nowhere, the man in the robe pulled a strange object from his pocket, a small, glowing stone. Its light flickered like it was alive, pulsing with power. "This is only the start," he hissed. And if you don't choose your side now, it'll be too late to run. The ground beneath their feet seemed to tremble. The boy's heart pounded. Something terrible was coming, something they couldn't stop. And he knew, deep down, that this was only the beginning. The glowing stone burst in the man in the robe's hand, shattering into 1,000 shards of light that spiraled into the sky. A deafening crack erupted, and the air itself seemed to tear apart. Shadows raced across the yard, twisting and writhing like living things, swallowing everything in their path. The boy's scream was drowned out by the chaos. His eyes widened as he saw the ground ripple, as if reality itself was breaking apart. The man in blue grabbed him instinctively, pulling him back, but the darkness surged forward, unstoppable. Suddenly, a blinding flash erupted from the shattered stone, illuminating the yard with pure white light. The shadows recoiled, shrieking as if in agony. Then, in a heartbeat, everything froze. The boy blinked, heart pounding. The yard was silent, eerily so. The shadows had vanished, replaced by a strange calm. The man in the robe staggered, clutching his chest, eyes wide with disbelief. The glowing stone was gone, as if it had never existed. The man in blue looked around, breathless. What just happened? The robe man collapsed to his knees, voice trembling. You don't understand. That wasn't just a stone. It was a portal, something ancient, something forbidden. And now it's gone. But the power it held, it's still here. The boy stepped forward, trembling. What does that mean? What are you both talking about? The robe man looked up, desperation in his eyes. It means we were right. There's something inside him, something beyond us, that can't be controlled. That stone was a warning, a trap. And now, whatever it was guarding is loose. A sudden gust of wind swept through the yard again, this time colder, darker. The shadows returned, but they were different, more furious, more hungry. The boy's skin crawled. He knew the worst was yet to come. The man in blue clenched his fists. We have to stop it. Whatever it is, it's not finished with us. But the man in the robe shook his head slowly. No. Whatever that was, it wasn't meant to be controlled. And now, the real nightmare begins. Because this is only the beginning of something far worse. A shudder ran through the boy's spine as he looked up at the moon, which suddenly flickered, as if winking out of existence. The sky darkened, and a voice echoed in his mind, cold, distant, yet impossibly close. You've awakened what should have remained asleep, it whispered. And now you can't escape it. The shadows swirled faster, and in a flash of darkness, everything went silent. The yard was empty again, peaceful, but haunted. The boy stood alone, trembling, knowing he'd just seen a glimpse of something that would haunt him forever. Something that had only just begun.